What's going on, everybody? This is the Father-Son Fantasy Football Podcast, and today's episode, we have a good one for you guys today. We're doing tight ends, the top 15 in ADP. We're going to let you guys know what we think about them, if we like them, if we don't. And if you guys haven't checked out our last episode, it was a really good episode, probably our favorite episode done yet. It was wide receivers part 2, so the ones that were going 16 to 30 and a little bit outside that. But we had a special guest on the show. Big thank you again to Justin Lanero from FootballDiehards.com.
Yes, thank you so much, Justin, for being a guest on our show.
Yeah, if he's listening right now, but we appreciate it. He's going to be back on again, he said, in July. But,
I hope everybody enjoyed our last episode.
Yeah, hope everyone enjoyed it a lot. So today, no shenanigans. We're going to get the people what they want. Last episode went a little bit longer than we wanted to. So this one is going to be really quick and precise. We're going to get concise information so we're not messing around. So without further ado, we're going to get right into tight ends, and we're going to kick it off in a second. All right, so that currently going as first tight end off the board is Rob Gronkowski. What do you guys say about Rob Gronkowski?
Of course, he's going first. He's in a tier all by himself.
Yeah, he's the number one tight end. He's basically gives you a weekly advantage at tight end position every single week.
You believe he was thinking about retirement?
He's old. He's tired of it. You know, he's currently going the last pick in the second round, which is like later than usual. So if he falls into the third round in a 12-team league, I don't care if you take him there. Like, he's a steal. Edelman's suspension definitely helps out with targets. The Patriots faced the fourth softest pass defense schedule. He has 22 touchdowns over 3 seasons. Weekly advantage, he averages 77.4 yards per game, most out of any tight end. And that's the sticky stat that sticks, that is really good for predicting what tight ends are going to do, is yards per game. It's one of the stickier ones. So him having 77.4 yards per game, it gives you that weekly advantage in tight ends.
Well, target for target, he's the best tight end in football. There's no question about it. He missed 2 games last year. He still had 69 receptions.
Hey.
Still had 1,083 yards. He led all tight ends in receiving yards, fantasy points per game with 16.2.
I mean,
his durability can be a problem.
Yeah, it's most tight ends, though. We're going to talk about it. Have little injury problems. He's getting old,
but he's still in a tier all by himself.
No, Rob Gronkowski, taking him may feel a little weird. Like, I take him in the past a couple of years. It feels weird taking him. It throws off your draft strategy a little bit. But you got to remember, you're getting a guy who's going to make a difference every single week in, week out. All right, next up, currently going second tight end off the board, 7th pick, third round, is Travis Kelce. I'm going to start out with this one. 69.2 yards per game. And like I said before, yards per game is one of the most predictive stats for tight ends. He was second in PPR points per game. And right now, you're paying the premium for Kelce. And to be honest with you, I'd rather have a guy that's going later than him, around later. Next we're going to talk about is Zach Ertz. I'd rather have Zach Ertz than him, because right now you're paying way too high a price for Travis Kelce. Red zone targets has always been a concern. Watkins and him are going to lead the team in targets, I believe. I'm off on a hill. Like I said, he's going to be a bust. But Watkins and Travis Kelce will lead the team in targets. The red zone targets are still a concern. I don't know how the new quarterback's going to do. Mahomes is a lot of hype. What do you got to say about Travis Kelce, Dad?
Well, he just missed 1 game in 4 seasons.
Yeah, he's pretty healthy.
Look, last season, Smith was among the most efficient passers on deep balls and short passes. Mahomes has played 1 game, so I'm cautious. I mean, who is he? We don't really know who he is.
No, but like young quarterbacks tend to rely on their tight end. Yep, like in history, young quarterbacks tend to rely on tight end, so I could see him targeting Kelce early and often.
I mean, Kelce is still going to see a ton of volume. He had a career high last year, 8 touchdowns. Yeah. But I think he's in for a regress this year with Mahomes.
That is so wrong. Down the wrong.
He's still going to be himself. I feel like
he's still going to be himself.
But right now you're paying at a premium price for him that I'd rather not pay.
No.
And so that's what we think about Travis Kelce. So the guy we're going to talk about now is I'd rather have over Kelce this year is Zach Ertz. Because right now people are saying, oh, you're also paying the premium for Zach Ertz. Are you in that boat? Like, you're paying too high? He's currently going in the 4th round, 3rd pick. Are you saying you're paying a premium for Ertz? I'm just wondering your opinion.
It all depends on who I got at the time. I don't have a problem taking him there.
He's going around later than Kelce, basically. 12 targets last year that were at least 16 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, and he caught 7 of them, which is 58.3% catch rate. The league average of the deep passes is 39.6. He's above average catcher. He had 14.5 PPR points per game. Right now, last year he was the 18th best wide receiver if you put a stat to there, and the 13th best running back. He's currently going behind 16 wide receivers and 19 running backs, and he missed 2 games. If he didn't miss any of those 2 games and you extrapolated his stats, he would have been the 10th best wide receiver and the 9th best running back. He has yet to crack 1,000 yards. I think this is the year he cracks 1,000 yards. I think this is the year that you're getting him, yes, a little higher than you want to, than we have in the past, but I think this year he's going to outproduce his draft cost because, like I said, if you could extrapolate the 16-game pace he was at, he would have been the 10th best wide receiver. So you're technically getting a wide receiver 10 in the 4th round.
Yeah. I mean, he's a productive tight end.
He's productive.
He is. He's
Wentz
good.
relies on him. I expect the offense to regress a little bit because Wentz's rate was unsustainable last year, but I think Aguilar and Jeff Reed are ones that are hurt from this. I don't think Ertz takes the hit.
Each year his fantasy points have increased. I mean, he's so good when he's active. He missed
Fantastic.
one game in each of his last 3 seasons.
Yeah. No.
He's got more receptions than Gronk the last 3 seasons. Trey Burton's gone.
Does he really?
Yes, he
Wow.
does. Last 3 seasons, he's got more receptions than Gronk.
Wow.
So I don't have a problem taking him over Gronk or Kels. Trey Burton's gone, and Wentz is coming back. I got no problem with that.
Yeah, they did draft Dallas Goedert, but I only see him being used in occasional 2 tight end sets, and then if Ertz does get injured, then I see Goedert having a good role because he was good in college. All right, next up, you can talk about your guy. Oh, joy. Jimmy Graham's next. He's currently going 8th pick, 5th round. Cheaper than Ertz.
I love Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy Graham, he led the league in touchdowns and red zone targets last year. Nelson's gone
he's on
now.
a lot of bust lists right now, and I don't understand why.
I mean, the price is probably the reason why, but like last year, he led the league in touchdowns, led it in red zone targets. Jordy Nelson's out of Green Bay now, and he caught over 25% of Green Bay's touchdown passes over the last 7 years. 38 of his 63 touchdowns were in the red zone. Graham comes in, Nelson's gone. Last year, he had 14 targets inside the 5, 16 targets inside the 10. Kels, in his whole entire career, has 7 inside the 5 and 15 inside the 10. So last year alone, Jimmy Graham had more red zone targets and goal line the targets than Travis Kelce. I'm in on Graham.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I think it's difficult to buy him where he is going because you don't know. You just don't know. He's in a different offense.
I know.
Look,
he's going to the number 1 offense in the league. He led all tight ends last year with 10 touchdowns.
Arguably one of the best offenses, top 3.
Nelson is gone.
Yes.
He's a veteran tight end with a big frame. He's in for a big role.
You love him. I'm not making a bet with you. I was going to make a bet with you a couple episodes ago, but I'm not going to do that with you. I just can't because I think he's going to do good this year. My strategy is I miss out on one of the top 3 tight ends. I think I'm waiting a little bit and punting it and then taking stabs at it. I don't know. I'd rather have like wide receivers in that range than Jimmy Graham, but if he falls to the 6th round,
I mean, there's a couple tight ends I like.
Sniped.
He's on top of my list. I would take him over the top other 3, I think.
You take him over Rob Gronkowski.
Yes, I would.
That's terrible.
I'm not paying the price for Gronk.
But
I'm not paying the price for Gronk.
Gronk is
I'd
going
rather get
another.
someone else in that position.
You should be banned from talking.
You should. You got to be kidding me. Now, okay. I mean, Jimmy Graham is good. I think he's going to be elite this year. Back to the status, like the targets stay there, like we said.
I'm not saying he's not a great player. I'm just saying I would rather take Jimmy Graham at the price.
At the price, all right. I can understand that. He's going 2 rounds later than Gronk, so I guess you can get 2 other
Now,
starts
if I
there.
get there and Gronk's there, I got to see what I got. But I don't think I'm.
What do you?
him.
If you get there, where in the 3rd round?
I don't know.
All right. Well, next up, going currently 12th pick, 5th round, almost a 6th round for 12-team leagues. Greg Olson. I believe you and I have very different thoughts about Greg Olson this year, so I'm gonna have you go first.
Look, he struggled last year with injuries. He only had 17 catches, played in 7 games. It's rare for him because he doesn't miss games.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll get a ton of touchdowns, but he will rack up the receptions and yards. But
I believe you have him classified as a bust.
he might be on my bust list. You'll have to wait till next
and
episode.
see. All right. Well, Greg Olson, he's healthy now. Last year, injuries were a problem. That's his first time in his career he's ever been injured like that. And he's the cheapest he's ever been in the past 3 years. Usually he's going in the 3rd, 4th round. This year he's going almost in the 6th round. He's a safe option. Newton likes targeting him. And Norv Turner is now the coach of the Panthers, and he loves targeting tight ends in the past. Look at Antonio Gates. He's going in the 6th round. I'd rather have him in the 6th than taking Travis Kelce in the 3rd. We're talking about the whole pricing thing. Like, you'd rather have Jimmy Graham at his price and Gronkowski at his price. I get that. But I'm saying right here, I'd rather have Greg Olson as his price than Kelce at his price. Or anyone there.
I don't have a problem with that.
Greg Olson is consistent, and he gets to targets, like you said. And targets, volume creates points.
Correct.
If you're looking for a guy who's going to get targets, new coach that loves targeting tight ends, I'm not scared about DJ Moore taking targets from Greg Olson. He's going to take targets from punches probably. This offense is going to look a little different this year. Newton's not getting any younger. He's not going to break a career yard in rushing again this year. Like, he's going to throw the ball a little more. He doesn't mind throwing it into like tight coverage, and Olson is pretty good at catching the ball. He's a safe option. He's going the latest he's ever been in the past 3 years. I think he's a great value this year in fantasy drafts, and if he's sitting there in the 6th round, I'm taking him. Next up, Evan Ingram, we're Giants fans. A crazy rookie year. I'm happy. He's fun to watch.
He had the best rookie tight end since Jeremy Shockey.
Jeremy Shockey.
You don't know who Jeremy Shockey is.
I remember
You're
watching
too
him when I was a
young.
kid.
Jeremy
really young.
Shockey was a great tight end.
He was a great tight end. He was on the Giants, Saints, and I don't know if at the end. But anyway, Evan Ingram, they drafted Saquon Barkley. I mean, OBJ's healthy now. I do love Evan Ingram's skill set. I think if he's not going to regress that much, obviously last season he's going to regress, but I believe that Shepard is going to be the one that's regressing because Ingram had a role last year. And he's going to keep that role. And I probably won't have him in drafts this year unless he falls to me. For example, the best ball draft we did last week, he fell to me in like the 8th round. I'm taking Evan Ingram in 8th round. I'm sorry. Like, I know I'm a little off on him this year, but Shepard's going to be the one to regress. OBJ's going to get his. Evan Ingram is going to have a role because he's a tight end in Pat Schumer's offense. Pat Schumer did crazy things with Kyle Rudolph the last 2 years. Pat Schumer likes targeting tight ends. So I think that Evan Ingram's going to have a role, and he could possibly be a great value if he falls. But right now he's going in the 6th round, 8th pick. If he falls into that 7th round range, I'm in on him. What do you got to say about it? Anything else?
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a good second season, but his rookie season was unbelievable. But the thing is, Odell's back and Barkley's there, could cost him some targets, and he's another one who drops a lot of balls.
He does. I mean, it's rookie year too, so he has another year of NFL experience under his belt. It could be better.
Think Odell coming back and Barkley there, I think it's going to cost him some.
I think it's going to cost Shepard targets more than it's going to cost Evan Ingram targets. That's what I think, because tight ends, he's a tight end, he's not a wide receiver. He's going to have a role in the offense. Tight ends have roles. Pat Schumer's offense. Pat Schumer's the head coach now.
He's on the field a lot, too.
Pat Schumer's the head coach now.
Okay.
He loves targeting tight ends. All right, before we get into the next tight end, I want to give you guys a little update on the subscriber league. We're having more interest, which is really good. So in the description below in the YouTube and in your podcast, click on the description. You can see how you get entry points, and you can keep getting entry points for the YouTube videos. In the comments section down below, hashtag subscriber league, and tell us why you want in. That's worth an entry point. Follow Twitter at FatherSonFF. That's worth the entry point. And if you write us a 5-star review on iTunes, we will not only will we shout you out and read the whole thing, but you get 5 entry points for that. That's 5 entry points. That's crazy. You get an advantage. Right now we have a couple guys interested, and we're going to start telling people who are in the league starting mid-July. We're going to do 2 people a week, maybe 1 person a week to start out, and then as the season gets closer to August, we're going to start putting in 2 people per week. But the first member of the subscriber league will be announced within the next 2 weeks. We're going to announce who's in the subscriber league first. We hope we get some interest on that. Once again, leave a like on the YouTube video.
So that means Tom, get that Twitter account.
Just follow Father-Son FF.
Tom and Bart, get that Twitter account.
I understand some people don't have Twitter. If you don't have Twitter, it's a great way to stay updated on all of this news and stuff around the league. But if you don't have a Twitter, there's still other ways to get points. YouTube, just go subscribe, comment in the YouTube video. Hashtag subscriber league, I want in. That's worth a point. You can keep doing that for every single video we post. Hashtag subscriber league. That's another entry point. So theoretically, you can keep adding up these entry points, and we will pick you. And we're looking forward to seeing it. And once it gets down to the final 2, you may have to be a little more competitive for those spots. But right now, 5-star review on iTunes, write it out. We'll shout you out, and you get 5 entry points for subscriber league.
Get them points. You want to get in this league because we'll talk about it all season long.
Yes, we will. We can't wait to talk about it. It's going to be a lot of fun with you guys. All right, next up, currently going as the 7th tight end off the board, 7th round, 3rd pick is Kyle Rudolph.
I love Kyle Rudolph in that spot.
I think he's a little too high.
He had a down year last year compared to 2016 where he finished 2nd.
That was a crazy year. He's not going to go back to that. That was also with Pat Schumer at head coach.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Last year he was 8th.
Yeah, last year he was 8th.
He also had a late season ankle injury that might have limited it a little bit.
In 2016, he had 83 catches, 132 targets. Last year, it regressed a little bit down to 81 targets. This year, I think it's going to go down even lower. You got Dalvin Cook coming back. Thielen and Diggs are going to have a role. Cousins likes targeting Reed, so I guess you could be overlooking Kyle Rudolph because Cousins is going to do it. But in all, the coach's decision.
Cousins loves to throw his tight ends.
I think he's a 50-catch guy, not the 2016 season we saw 83 catches. I think he's going to have 50 catches this year. I could see touchdowns because touchdowns are always upside with Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah, I like Rudolph.
But regression is coming. There's high competition for targets. I'm not taking him at his price. I think people are a little too bullish on him like you, but I don't have a problem with him. I just think I'd rather have different tight ends later than having him in the 7th round. All right, next up, Delaney Walker, tight end, Tennessee. You go.
Look, he gets the job done.
He does get the job done. He's currently going 3 picks later than Kyle Rudolph.
I think he's one of the most underrated tight ends. He's a good, reliable target, and he's consistent. He has 3 consecutive top 5 fantasy seasons.
Yeah, like we talked about in the last episode, he's not.
He's never
He's
finished
one of those
lower.
guys that's not a sexy pick.
Right, he's not, but he's underrated. He's under the radar a little bit, I think. He's never finished lower than 9th in targets, receptions, and receiving yards. So he gets the job done.
He does. Last 3 years, he's had at least 20% target share. I think this is the year Mariota is going to be great this year. We'll talk about him in the next episode for me. Only other tight end who has ranked in the top 2 for target share, even twice since 2013, is Olson, and he has 3 top 2 finishes since then. He gets his targets. Mariota's going to bounce back, and Delaney Walker is pretty cheap this year. He has a high floor.
He needs to get touchdowns. Though.
He has a high floor though. He's going to give you that
3 touchdowns last year.
Touchdowns vary. It's what Kellis was, and then he had 8 last year.
What rounds he going in?
He's currently going in the 7th round, 6th pick. I think it's a steal. You're cheapest you're getting him in the most recent years.
I agree with that.
He's get his target baseline right there, and opportunities created by volume. He has the volume, so I think he has potential to bounce back, which makes his ceiling unknown. I think you're drafting him at his floor, at the 8th tight end, because he always is in those top 3 with targets.
Yep.
So I think you're getting him as the 8th tight end off the board. Who knows what the ceiling could be with Mariota coming back, new offense, Ryan LaFleur running 3 wide receiver sets, a little faster pace. I could see Mariota leaning on him as a safety net all the time. I'm looking to take Delaney Walker in drafts, I think, this year. I was a little off on him earlier, but I think he's undervalued, like you said, and I think I'm looking to take him in drafts. All right, next up, a guy who has skyrocketed off draft boards, and he seems to be everyone's favorite sleeper tight end this year, Trey Burton. He's currently 8th round first pick. If I don't get the top 3, usually I'm waiting to get Burton, but now he's going at a price where I rather, I guess, take, I don't know, he's going a little higher than I wanted him to go.
He's going to go quicker when drafts start coming.
I think he's going to keep going up. Nagy said, the head coach said the tight end role is important in his offense. He last year he had 2.51 fantasy points per target, which is the 2nd highest among tight ends with at least 30 targets. If he sees more volume, you're looking at tight end 8, which he's going at 9 right now. So I guess he's getting drafted still a little too low. So I love him. It's only Allen Robinson ahead of him for targets. I have him ranked like right 8, 9 right now, and he's going 9th. So if he keeps rising, like you said, I could see him going ahead to Delaney Walker by the end, like in August. And I'd rather have Delaney Walker cheaper than him because you don't know what you're going to get with Trey Burton. Yes, there's upside there, and that's why everyone loves him. I have him in a lot of best ball drafts right now. I'm really happy with Trey Burton. I love him. I have him in the other one he just did the other night. I like Trey Burton a lot, but I think he's going to probably keep going up in draft stock. Anything else you got to say there?
I mean, he left as a role of a backup where he came from, so he's going to step right in and be a playmaker. Mm-hmm. Trubisky is there. I mean, it's not
I can see improvement.
Carson Wentz, but I'm excited about what Trubisky's going to do this year.
Yep, everyone's excited for his Bears offense. They're saying it's similar to the Rams.
See what he does, but I hope he does well. And clearly, Trey Burton has some huge upside.
Yes,
especially with a pass-first offense.
Yes, and they're probably going to be down a lot. That's what our case was for Allen Robinson last episode. Once again, if you haven't heard that episode, go check it out. We had a special guest, Justin Lanero from Football Diehards. He's really high known in the industry. Over 5,000 Twitter followers. He's a great guy. Great talk with him. A little bit bad quality, but he's coming back on soon, so make sure you go tune into that. Again, I think the wide receivers part 2 episode, just like our running backs part 2 was better than part 1 because these are guys in the middle rounds. You guys got to know who to get. So once again, if you haven't checked that out, we're on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and YouTube. Just type in Father, Son, Fantasy Football. We're popping up. We're growing on iTunes now. We're looking good. We're looking good.
We're getting better with each episode.
Yeah. All right. Next up, currently going as 10th tight end off the board, 7th pick, 8th round in 12-team leagues is Jordan Reed. Injuries. That's the only thing I can say about him. He's never healthy. However, like I said in the last episode too, fantasy football is a weekly game. So those weeks where he is healthy, maybe only 8 games this year, he gives you that weekly advantage. He's a guy, you saw Alex Smith lean on Travis Kelce in Kansas City. He completed more passes to him than any other Chiefs wide receiver or target in the past 5 years. If Reed is healthy, I can see the same thing.
You said fantasy's week to week. If you had him last year,
he
were hurting.
He
missed 10 games last year.
He missed 10 games. That's crazy.
He's got a new QB,
That's the biggest
Alex
thing.
Smith, who did help Kelce to high
like
fantasy points each of the past 2 seasons. I mean, he's going to get targeted early
if
and
he's
often
healthy.
if he's healthy.
But I think right now his draft stock's going to keep going down. So if he keeps slipping down, you can get, say, Gronk and take him. That's not bad. You got 2 of them. So if you take these 2 tight ends, you can get 2 good tight ends this year. I mean, he's probably going to keep drafting. He's going 10th. He was going 8th earlier. So people are still scared of injuries. And people, I think, at the time in August, he's not a sexy pick. So I think people are going to be scared to take Jordan Reed, and that's why I'll be stepping up to the plate and taking him at the value where he's going to probably drop to.
I had him last year. It really hurt me.
Oh, yeah. No,
but his upside is well worth the mid-round pick.
Yeah, I mean, mid-round, 8th round.
If he's healthy.
He's dropping in draft stock still.
Well, obviously, because of his health.
Yeah, because of his health. Yeah, he's currently still dropping a little bit. It's actually going up recently. For the past 4 days, he went up 4 slots. So I don't know if it's going to keep dropping, but it's only June right now. So we'll see later. We'll revisit these tight ends soon in later July when we talk about the divisional previews. All right, next up, a guy. Oh, I love him. George Kittle. He's currently going as the 11th tight end. 10th round, 6th pick, George Kittle. What this guy, he's young. He's a great. I think he's going to finish as a tight end 1 this year, top 12 in the league. With Jimmy G under center, he was his favorite target. He went from 6.3 PPR points per game to 8.7 with them. He could have finished top 5 if Jimmy G was there the whole time. If Jimmy G was playing the whole season with Kittle and they kept up that rate, he would have been a top 5 tight end last year. But last season was a very bad season for tight ends. I think they rebalanced this year as total. The upside is there. There's no real competition. He led the 49ers in targets and receptions in the red zone, and he had the most catches within the 10-yard line and on the whole team. That role is going to be his still. Yes, they did draft Dante Pettis, but that's not going to take away his red zone targets. George Kittle, I think the upside is there for him to be a top 12 tight end this year. He's a great late. If I don't get Kels or Ertz or Gronk and say Graham goes earlier than I want, and Olson goes earlier, and Walker goes earlier, I'm okay with waiting and taking a stab at Kittle. It's not the safest bet, but the upside is there.
His upside is going to be really good.
I know you like Kittle a little bit, right, Dad?
Yeah, especially with Garoppolo. What he's
Yeah, like I
done
said,
last
with
year.
Jimmy G
we don't
there,
really know a lot about him, but hopefully, the way he finished last season is just good things for this season.
And I think Jimmy G's touchdown total is going to go up. He only had I think it was 6 in his how many games he did. I don't know. His touchdown rate was really bad last year. I think that goes up, and I think Kittle benefits from that because, like I said, he gets those red zone and inside the 10-yard line targets. Currently going in the 10th round, 6th pick. That's 2 rounds later than the tight end before him. Jordan Reed's going in the 8th round. Next one's going in the 10th round. That's why if I miss out on Kels, Ertz, Gronk, and the values drop for these other guys, I'm taking Kittle every time.
If you don't get one of the top 4 tight ends, there's guys in the later rounds like we're talking, like right about now.
Mid-rounds, later rounds. I think right now we're getting into the tight end drop. Yeah.
They could get your points. They could be really good.
Okay, next up is a guy named Jack Doyle. I am off on Jack Doyle. He did have the second most catches at a tight end last year. He had 80 catches last year. I see him being used as the blocker this year, and we're going to talk about my guy, Eric Ebron. I think this is the year Eric Ebron comes to life. Everyone's waiting for it. Every year, just not. The Lions don't know how to use him. I think the Colts with Andrew Luck under center is going to know how to use Eric Ebron. We're talking about him in an episode coming up next week. Really excited about that episode. We have a guest on the show for that one.
Doyle's the guy there.
Doyle's not the guy there.
Yeah, he is.
No, I will make a bet with you right now. More fantasy points for the season. Eric Ebron or Jack Doyle?
Nope.
I will take Eric Ebron.
Nope.
Eric Ebron is the pass catcher, tight end in this offense. Jack Doyle is the blocker. We'll talk about this in another episode.
Okay.
But I'm just letting you know. I'm not taking Jack Doyle. He's going 11th round, 8th pick. That's another round behind Kittle. I'd rather take Kittle at the price than that. Anything else to say on Jack Doyle, Dad?
No, he's going to be a
80 catches last year. I'll give him that.
Yeah, but he's going to be a difficult player to forecast, especially with Ebron there. Is Luck going to be back?
We think so. I think right now it's looking like he's going to be back, yeah. I'm not going to Jack Doyle, no. Eric Ebron, yes. And he's not even going in the top 18 right now in drafts, so it's even later you can wait. Next up, Tyler Eifert. We talked about injuries to Jordan Reed. He's going 13th round, first round. He's always injured. He's an elite touchdown scorer, but does he even see the field this year again? He's still having injury problems right now with back problems. But when he's on the field, that's a 15.7% touchdown rate. That means 15.7% of the time, he's going to have a touchdown. He catches the ball. That's crazy.
When he's healthy. His durability
is never healthy.
A major concern.
He's never healthy. This offense improved their offensive line. They have Joe Mixon coming second year. John Ross is back. A.J. Green. This offense could be cool to watch this year, fun to watch, but I'm probably staying away from Tyler Eifert. But he is going in the 13th round right now, so if you get one of those earlier guys, he's not a bad backup tight end. Do I like him as your first tight end? No. I'm not trusting him.
He's never played a full season.
No, he's going to get injured just like Jordan Reed.
Remember this. He was in free agency. No one wanted him. So Cincinnati re-signed him.
Sign him to 1 more year. This is his make-or-break year, so I think he's going to try to be healthy.
Because he's always hurt.
He's always hurt. And you're as good as your durability and availability is. If you can't play, what are you to the team? Even your fantasy team. Like, if you have a guy in a bench, like he's not playing, like Jordan Reed and Tyler Eifert, the 2 guys we look at who are injured all the time. I don't know. Next up, David Njoku, 14th tight end off the board. He's going 6 picks later than Eifert, 13th round, 7th pick. The QB play concerns me. There's a lot of mouths to feed in the Cleveland offense. Everyone thinks it's going to be a great offense. We don't know. It's still the Browns. I don't know how great it's going to be. His draft stock keeps rising. I'm probably going to wait on him. I don't know. I like him. He's got a red zone threat. He's young. But this year, I don't know. His draft stock's going to keep rising, I think, too. So I don't know what you're going to expect out of him.
Look, they improved that QB. I mean,
yeah.
They did that. Browns have a lot of talent on this team.
On paper, it looks really good.
I mean,
But I don't see it working in the NFL. I don't know. We'll see.
he's a good young talent. We'll have to see.
Red zone target.
You got Landry there, Josh Gordon, Corey Coleman. So there's
Corey
a lot
Coleman's,
of
yeah.
mouths to feed.
Let's make a break here for him.
But
So,
he last year he was on the field 47% of the time.
yeah. Red zone target, like I said, he's a big guy. His draft stock is it's staying around the 13th round right now, so he's staying pretty stable right now,
He's
but
got
it's only
good
June.
upside at that spot.
Upside is there for a backup tight end. Why not? Even as you're streaming tight ends, he's not a bad streamer. Next up, last guy we're talking about today is O.J. Howard from Tampa Bay. Dad, you go first. What do you guys say about O.J. Howard?
He was
He's currently
efficient
going
last
14th
year.
round.
He was efficient. 432 yards, 6 touchdowns. He's more of a blocker. I think they're going to use him as a blocker because you got Brait there.
See, I think the opposite.
With Jameson's suspensions.
That's a little bit, yeah. So his price may drop even more. So I like him if he keeps dropping. I'm in on O.J. Howard this year. It's a pass-heavy team. They ranked 4th in passing yards last season. The Bucs finished 3rd in total team tight end PPR scoring last year, and it was touchdown dependent. So I expect that to regress a little bit. The rate that O.J. Howard was going at for his final 6 games when they actually used him was unsustainable. I think Howard leaps Brait this year. Deep passes have been more valuable than short in general for tight ends, so I think that's what Howard's skill set is. It's one that can stretch the field. Winston, when he comes back, can hit him. Brait's usage dropped during the last stretch of the season because they saw how good Howard was playing, and they just signed him because they were unsure about Howard's foot. Howard's foot is okay to go. He's not going to get hurt. I'm in on the upside. I like O.J. Howard this year.
Let me just talk about one more guy here. Baltimore drafted 2 tight ends.
Oh, my gosh.
First round of the draft, they drafted Hayden Hurst.
Ugh.
3rd round, they drafted Mark Andrews.
Yeah? What are you going to try to say?
I think Hurst could get a lot of targets.
No,
way.
Hurst is
Keep
a
an eye on
blocker.
him.
Hurst is a blocker. Mark
I'm
Andrews
just
is
saying,
more like a
keep
slot
an eye on
receiver.
Hurst. He could develop into a 3-down player. He's strong.
That's terrible.
This take right here.
That's terrible.
Your take is just terrible, bro. I disagree.
This offense loves tight ends.
Yes, they do like tight ends, but I think Mark Andrews is a better pass catcher than Hayden Hurst. They mainly got Hayden Hurst for blocking, and their 2 guards are back this season on the offensive line. That's why I take Alex Collins this year. I love Alex Collins this year. That's why I think it benefits.
Mark Andrews is going to be in the slot a lot this year.
He's a tight end, though. So exactly, he's going to get those catches. I think Hayden Hurst is more of a blocking tight end. Yes, he'll get his catches, but Baltimore's offense is not fun to
I'm
watch.
just saying, keep an eye on the 2 tight ends they drafted.
Yeah.
One of them is going to have big fantasy upside.
Another
You gotta
guy,
decide which
we
one.
quickly just go over Austin Seferian-Jenkins. A lot of rave coming out about him. We'll probably talk about him later in the season, but Austin Seferian-Jenkins could be a great tight end option this year. All right, so that's going to do it for today's episode. We did tight ends for you. Hopefully it was nice and concise. It wasn't too long for you guys to listen to. Definitely shorter than our last one. We really appreciate if you guys leave us a 5-star rating on iTunes, and if you guys write our review, we'll shout you out, and you get 5 entry points into the Listener League. So
Come on,
once again, our platforms, if you're on Apple, iTunes, please subscribe and turn automatic downloads on. We don't really care if you listen to the podcast, but if you just download it, that's what really matters. We're also on Google Play if you don't have an Apple device, and Stitcher now. Another podcast app. It's probably easier than Google Play in my opinion. So if you guys get on that, download the episodes on there. We're also on YouTube if you want to, I guess, watch the videos. We're not on live cam yet, but we do have a YouTube channel. Just type in Follow Us on Fantasy Football. We're growing on there. Leave a like rating, comment, hashtag Subscriber League, and write why you want to be in the Subscriber League. Short sentence or 2. That submits an entry. And we really hope you guys like this episode. Let us know what you think about it. And we have some more exciting episodes coming to you this week. We're excited. We may have another guest on the show. Dad, what do you got to say before we go?
That's awesome. Get them points to get in that league. Get in that 12-man league.
All right, we hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. We'll see you guys next time.